There we go. Alrighty, so I'm using a dry dropper. It's a hopper dropper to be exact. It's kind of like a chubby Chernobyl up at the top, and then I've got a blowtorch at the bottom. That's probably about 18 inches, maybe even 24 from that top fly, from that chubby Chernobyl. The reason why I'm using that is I've got a deep little pool. It's got a great little riffle right here where it kind of bellies out, probably gets to about 2-3 feet deep. And ultimately what I think is, I think there's going to be trout in here. I threw a streamer through it to start. I've been chucking that primarily, but I didn't really land any fish. Moved a couple but didn't land any, and now I'm ready to start catching some. So since the streamer was maybe too big or couldn't get him to commit, I've switched over. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to this hopper dropper and you know, just drift it through and see what happens. You know, hope for a little bit of success. There he, oh, first drift, and he was right there. You probably saw him, but unfortunately we're not going to get him on camera. That's a shame. That was a nice fish. The fish in this particular stream, because it is really heavily, I believe, limestone influenced, they are stunning in this creek. So if we get a couple today, they are going to be something to behold. There's no doubt about that. There we go. So we knew there was fish in here. Just a matter of getting them in the net. Oh, 2 fish, and we are 0 for 2. Gotta love it. That's fly fishing, especially when you fish with barbless hooks. So that's, you know, that's on me. I try to tilt him up a little early, to be honest. I wanted to pop him in the net because he wasn't that big. I would have played him differently if he was bigger. So it's all on me. But I will say though, after not getting anything on that streamer, switching to this dry dropper and just letting it come right through, it's been a meal ticket to success. Oh, what a take. What a take. That was fierce. That looked like a nice fish if that was based off of the way that it just ran with it. God, I hope I get a second chance at that guy. And the reason why I like that chubby Chernobyl is it really sits up high in the water column and allows me to get great drifts. There we go. Oh, there we go. This is a nice fish. Great small stream brown. So let's get the net ready, get our line in. Yeah, gotta get that ready to go. There we go. All right, so this is why we came to this stream. There are going to be a good number of brownies. They are going to be absolutely gorgeous, and they're hopefully going to be hungry. There we go. Keep him down. You're gonna, when you see this guy on film, you're gonna know why we're here. Anybody that fishes Central PA, they know exactly what the deal is with these fish. Great fish. Look at this. I mean, these fish are fat, they are healthy. The thing that I love about them that make them, as Fly All Seasons would say, so cheeky, is look at that. Woo! This little orange spot right there is exactly why I love this stream. All right, let's get this guy back. This water is nice and cold. It's got to be in the 50s, and these fish are on the feed. They got that feed bag on, ready for fall. Look at that. One of the biggest things right now that are helping me to potentially get good drifts is line control. So what maybe you can't see right now that I'll show you in a second once I get through the drift that I think could get a fish, is that I've got my offhand, basically you can kind of see just enough like that, and that's what allows. So if I do it too quick, here's what happens. Pulls it right through. If I do it too slow, it doesn't move with the current. So it's really about line control with your offhand. And just making sure that you control that drift and get it basically as even with the current and the bubble line, if you have one, as you possibly can. And that's going to be your key to success for potentially fooling a fish and making it think that that fly is something that it can eat. I'm fishing my 10-foot 3-weight Syndicate, and I actually, to this morning, I was throwing streamers. I wasn't paying as good attention as I should have when you're making longer casts. I hit an overhang. It got caught, I ripped it out, and I popped off my tippet ring. So honestly, this system is predicated on long strips of mono, and then ultimately what it builds to is, as you probably know by now, it builds to usually about a 2-foot or longer strip of cider material. You can see I'm down to about 6 inches. So because I lost that tippet ring and I didn't have any on me, they're at the house, of course. So the point is that I tied on for the streamer just a little surgeon's knot to the cider, and then now I kept on that, you know, thicker piece of fluoro, and then surgeon's knotted on my usual 5X. And from there, to give me some distance to be able to cast this thing, I've got about 3 feet of 5X that lead to my chubby Chernobyl. And then, like I said, underneath, I've got about 2 feet of my tippet that lead to the blowtorch. So, you know, it's not ideal. And you know, in my early days of fishing, I would have thought the day is done because I wouldn't have known how to adapt. But thankfully, I was able to make an adjustment. Was able to, you know, modify the rig and ultimately land some fish. So that kind of saved my day. Otherwise, that would have been catastrophic to be over an hour away from where I'm staying and no tippet rings. Thankfully, I did bring them though. I brought all the materials because I was thinking to myself, what if you're in central PA and you bust off your rig, which has never happened to me in over a year, but for some reason I thought about it yesterday and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take everything. I'll take the mono, I'll take the cider, I'll take the tippet rings, and sure enough, bust it off within the first 5 minutes. So I guess I thought about that for a reason. Just excited to have gotten a brown in this stream. This is one of my favorite small streams in PA. There we go. There we go. He was in there. He was sitting in the soft water. Haven't gotten a look at him yet. Don't know if it's a decent fish or not, but all the brownies in here make up for size with beauty. So let's get this guy ready to go. Got to get my net. I didn't even get like that vicious take like I had with the last guy. This one was more of a the line was just moving a little unnaturally, and as a result I just decided to set the hook because it was moving back towards a different area of the current that I didn't really have that in. Oh, just missed. Ooh, we got a fighter on our hands for a little guy. There we go. And that hook is already out. Yep, just absolutely stunning fish in here. And the other thing that I really love about these fish is you can kind of see probably how red the tails get in here. Their reds just, there's just nothing better. So this blowtorch has proven to be pretty effective whenever I fish a spring creek or a limestoner. This has been a good fly for me. And the dry dropper with the chubby has been great. I just fished that at the Gunpowder the other night. Ended up salvaging after double nymphing and not catching anything. I ended up, I think, with around five or six browns to hand, and that was after a pretty slow start. So, double nymph isn't always superior to dry dropper or streamer. Really depends upon the conditions and what you've got, and I saw this as a great opportunity for a dry dropper, just to let this thing kind of sink through that current nice and slow at the pace of what the fish might want. And sure enough, we've hooked about 5 and caught 2. So I think that's going to wrap it up on this spot. Let's head to the next one. That's going to wrap it up for Tight Lining Maryland. We had a nice day here on this small stream. Didn't yield a bunch of fish, but it did give me 2 really pretty browns, one of which was a nice thick, probably 9-10 inch brownie that was just gorgeous. So sometimes it's the thrill of the chase, just getting out on a stream that you love, even if, you know, it doesn't result in a dozen fish. You know, these tiny streams, when you only get to fish maybe a quarter-mile section, sometimes aren't going to cough up that many. But nevertheless, I hope you got to see how I use the kind of hopper dropper and how I control the line. I appreciate, as always, all the support and you guys watching. So tight lines, and look forward to the next time I see you on the stream.